Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It's morning in South Florida. Hope all is fantastic. Welcome to Heart of Christ Ministry. I'm your host, Reverend Sean Robert Grant. Happy Tuesday. If it's Tuesday where you are, unless you're on the other side of the world, and happy whatever day it is on that day. Anyway, got an exciting bit of content prepared for you. And it's going to be absolutely thrilling. Once again, I'm meditating on these messages and really allowing myself to see what needs to emerge, what needs to come forth through divine guidance. And it's really quite amazing to see that, right? Because, it just allows me to tune in to what is going to be best, not just for me, but for everybody else that decides to listen in, whether you're listening in presently or in the future at some time. So either way, welcome. Okay. Before we get into that today, let's get it down to some business real quick. As always, if you have any type of prayer requests, any type of questions, any type of feedback, any type of, anything you'd want to relay over to us here at Heart of Christ Ministry, by all means, feel free to do so. I'm here. I'm happy to. I will get to you as soon as I can. Excuse me. We'll get to you as soon as I can. Just send me a shout at SeanG04@gmail.com. And if you know me personally, you have my number, shoot me a text. Be more than happy to respond. Okay. Now, if you feel it in your heart that you'd like to give or donate today, please do so. It helps the ministry greatly. Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com, and we're sweetening the deal for you. So we're letting you know if you decide, to donate, that will be rewarded what we call the Endless Prosperity Pack. Okay, the Endless Prosperity Pack is basically a series of videos that's going to allow you, all right, it's a series of videos that's going to allow you to basically go through the process of money consciousness and go through the process of you being in a space that it's gonna help you financially in a tremendous capacity. And for me, that has been amazing because it's videos that I've watched time and time again, and it's really helped me to be where I am. And like I said yesterday, I've had some really, really good times financially because I'm learning that it's not just about the physical aspect of money. It goes so much deeper, right? And it has everything to do with our thoughts, our feelings, our connection to the divine, and our embodiment of God as the presence of supply. And so, like I said, if you decide to give, the Endless Prosperity Pack is yours without a doubt. It's definitely worth it. With that being said, guys, moving right along. Okay. Now, I want to tell you something real quick here. If it gets to a point to where I start to come in and out, just give it a second and let it come right back. Usually what happens is sometimes the picture will go, but the audio will continue. So just stay with that and everything will work itself out. Okay. What else? Yeah, that's about it. So let's get into today's message. Heart of Christ Ministry 2021. It's a new day. It's a brand new day. And with that, we are moving into a space of really working on soul evolving topics, soul evolving concepts, right? And so you look at today's message, a judgment-free zone, okay? A judgment-free zone. So what do we mean by a judgment-free zone? What does that entail? I'll fix my camera here real quick. So that's basically you being able to have the capacity, the power to step into acceptance of everything, right? No matter what it is, right? This hat is like my favorite straw hat. It's got a big old hole in it. If I showed you that hole, if I bend down, you could even see a little bit of it. Would you judge me? right? It's amazing how it's so easy to fall into the idea of judgment, right? And not be um and not be in a state where you're free to accept people as they are. You see what I'm saying? And that becomes such an important truth to understand and to realize, right? We only have to be acceptant. Why? Because we talked about it yesterday. Every single person is only reflecting us. Okay? Every single person is only reflecting us. So why in the world would we judge ourselves, right? Why would we do that? That's something that we have to take a deeper look into and begin to understand, okay, where is this coming from? But before I get to that, I want to get into our bullet points, okay? So we'll start off with number one. Whenever you feel the need to judge somebody, place the same amount of judgment on yourself. How does that feel? Okay? How does that feel? Like that would be me seeing somebody walk outside the window and I say, oh, what a dumbass hat they're wearing, right? And so I would have to ask myself, okay, let's place that judgment on me. Oh, what a dumbass hat Sean has on, right? It's a mirrored effect. See, one of the most compelling concepts is that the world is just a mirror, right? So basically, when you see that person with that hat on or that shirt or those crazy pants and you judge them, you might as well just go into the mirror and say, oh, such and such with your pants and your hat and your shirt, right? It's the same ordeal. But see, here's the trick. I keep kicking the table. Here's the trick here. The trick why most people don't get it is because it doesn't immediately take hold, but it actually does, and it does it on a different level of energy, right? It's not just felt immediately in the third dimension, which is the realm of materiality. It's felt in like the fourth dimension, like the thought realm, right? The emotional, the astral plane. And so then all of a sudden what happens? Somebody comes along and judges you, right? And this goes with every single thing. I got a story for you that is like so compelling, okay? And I can remember, it was a time where I was in a state of judgment where I was judging every single person I was with. It is when I was, still working jobs and stuff. And anyway, I judged every single person I was working with. And, it just kind of became second nature. It became second nature for me to judge those individuals. And I thought nothing of it, right? And that's a dangerous place to be because you're judging and you're unaware of it. So guess what happens? I'm trying to be a good Samaritan on Facebook, online, and all of a sudden I get this guy who's like a straight maniac coming out of nowhere, and he just is just judging every single thing that I do, right? So at the time, it was one of those things where I had to really ensure, right? Well, what's going on here? Like, why is this unfolding in this way, right? And it come to find out, this guy on Facebook was just mirroring what I was doing to these people at work. And that opened my eyes tremendously. It let me know, okay, you know what? I gotta be loving to everybody. And if I can't be loving, then I gotta be accepting. Because if not, that just means that I'm refusing to be loving and accepting to myself. And from that day on, when I learned that message, when that guy was so heated and decided to judge me in that capacity, it turned my life around completely. All the judgment ceased. No matter how bad someone was or what somebody did, I was able from that point on to take that judgment and place it on myself. And when I place it on myself, all of a sudden, you feel like crap, right? Because it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good. Like, can you imagine having to, like, you say, oh, that not you ugly, over whatever, such and such, and then you put that on yourself, you lower your vibration, right? But it's meant to be that way to help us to understand. Okay. It's meant to be that way to help us to understand that we can be loving, accepting, compassionate, and kind to everything and everyone. Right. And it starts right now. Okay. So let's continue to dive into this whole process of judgment. So the first part about it, place the same judgment on yourself. How does it feel? Okay. And then from there, number 2, ask yourself, what's inside of me? What inside me do I see in this other person that's making me judge them? Right. And it always gets back to a lack of self-love. Right. We feel the need to tear other people down, which is ourselves, because we lack self-love. Right. We lack self-love. Why? Because the universe works as a mirror. So we've got to mirror what we feel, what we know to be true on the inside. And that's always going to come out. So if you see somebody who's judging somebody or judging everything, guess what? They're in dire need of love. Like, they really need to love themselves more, because that's the root cause of all types of judgment. If you want to go deeper with it, and this is what really got me, that really helped me transform and just basically transcend the whole idea of judgment, is just realize you're judging God. You're judging an expression of God when you judge somebody else. And that literally that did it for me. That was like, okay, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm not going to sit here and judge the Almighty, judge the power that creates it all and that is so loving and caring. No, like, especially an aspect of it. If anything, I've got to step into right judgment and find out, what do I like about this person? Or what aspects of this person do I like instead? And if I can't say that, you know what? I wish you well-being, peace and well-being, done deal, right? So asking yourself, what inside me do I see in this other person that's making me judge them? Because the universe is slick. I mean, slick. And it will bring the very person in your life that has the very quality that you need to work on, that you need to love within yourself, and it will but it will perpetuate it in a sense to allow it to come out as judgment. Now, it's up to us to see if we take that awareness and say, okay, got to do this. This is where it goes, right? But that's how precise, accurate, and perfect the universe is it will bring the very people in your life you need to heal something, right? And so if you're like me, and I want you to be just like me, if you're not already, anytime something comes into your life, ask yourself, why is this thing in my life? Why did this person come into my life? Good, bad, ugly, look, not dualistic. Throw dualism out of the way. Why is this occurring in my life right now? Because what? It's reflecting an aspect of you. And this is a beautiful way to grow, to transcend judgment, to transmute any type of fear-based energy into love, is to really take responsibility and ask, what is life attempting to show me through this occurrence, through this circumstance, right? It's one of the most powerful things any of us can do as divine beings having a human experience, okay? But getting back to judgment, not to get off topic, what do I see in this other person that's making me judge them, right? And if you sit with it long enough, what you're going to find is you'll definitely get the answer that is on point. And this is all a part of what we teach here at Heart of Christ, introspection, right? Self-introspection, self-growth, like until you're able to realize those things and become, the key word is aware, you're not going to be able to heal them, right? So if you find yourself, let's say you're a lunchtime gossip or something like that, you know, and or you people watch and you just pick out things about people, the very thing that you're picking out about that person, that's the problem you have. Deep within your being, that's something that you have to work on, right? And I know this is like in your face, this is like one of these hard messages because, if you are judging, it's like, oh shit, well, yeah, I don't want to sit here and listen to this and know that I'm wrong. But the reason I'm here, the reason why I feel like this message emerged was because we need to know when we're exuding qualities that aren't in resonance with the divine self that we are, right? Because eventually what happens, the judgment turns into physical circumstances manifesting, and you wind up getting hurt, you wind up doing certain things. But you always, guys, you always have to turn that judgment on yourself, like in number one, and ask yourself if it's not clear right away, because sometimes it's not always clear why you judge people. Like it can be something as simple as judging somebody for the stuff that they cooked, right? And all of a sudden you're like, well, it doesn't really taste good or not. Well, no, because sometimes food can taste good and not taste good. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's like, I think Emerson said it. If you can say something super positive, bam, say it. If you can't say anything positive at all, keep it to yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to make the most of it, right? And if you really do have to say something, if you're really going to be critical, and criticism is really dangerous, it's a double-edged sword, say it in the most loving way, right? Say it in the sense of, you know what? Although, I know you're a fantastic cook and I know you've done better. And you know what? I know that this is just one of those times where you're going to find the opportunity to really perfect this recipe. And I look forward to that, right? You say it in a loving way. And even that was still kind of, so it's hard to be critical. But if you really have to be critical, find the way to be loving about that criticism. Okay. So number 3. And right then, this is the most important one. So once you realize why you're judging, and then you turn on yourself first, and then you understand why you're judging this person, make the immediate shift from judgment to acceptance, because acceptance is rooted in love, right? Acceptance is rooted in love, right? And so I can tell you, like, there's times where I do a video and 0 people are watching, right? Now, do I get pissed and start cursing people out on Facebook and saying, like, you sons of bitches, I see you signing on. What the hell is your problem? Get your ass back on here. You need to be watching this. Yeah, I'm talking about you. No, I accept the fact that whoever tunes in is supposed to tune in, and they're going to be the individuals that are going to watch it. And through their watching, those are the ones that are meant to be there. A lot of times, the easiest way to look at that is this person in alignment with my vibration? If they're not going to tune into what you're saying. If they are, they will. So it's nothing personal. It's just vibration, right? But it's making that immediate shift from judgment to acceptance, right? Immediate shift from judgment to acceptance. If you look like you're going to say something bad, immediately turn around and say something nice, right? If you think the pants suck, what about the shirt? What about the earrings? What about the necklace? Say something nice about that. That's the beauty of transmuting judgment and turning it into acceptance and love, is that we can stop ourselves, right? Because, and this is all awareness, and it comes through meditation. It comes through self-introspection. When you make a habit of doing all those things that we teach here at Heart of Christ Ministry, when you make a habit of doing those things, you realize your awareness begins to grow. Your awareness begins to expand. And then you can almost have, like, I can explain it to you. I have like this out of body where I can be the watcher. I can be the divine aspect of myself and see the stuff that I'm doing and make sure that it's in alignment with my top 3, which is compassion, love, and kindness, right? I can see that. And so if I'm doing something that's not in resonance with that, then I have to make the shift, right? And I always make sure that I am in congruence to those top 3, love, compassion, and kindness, right? And by being congruent, it keeps me immediately from judging others and just being in judgment altogether, okay? So That's another, that might actually be the next episode. I wanted to touch on that before we move forward. Everybody has divine attributes. Everybody has divinely programmed DNA to experience certain soul qualities every single circumstance of their lives. They're given the opportunity to experience their soul quality, okay? And so let me just kind of clarify this. So I just told you mine were love, compassion, and kindness. Every instance of my life, every circumstance of my life, no matter what it is, it's me getting the opportunity to display love, compassion, or kindness, right? So when you find yours, right? When you find yours and you know from a heart's perspective what they are, you're going to notice the exact same thing. You'll have every opportunity to display, to embrace those qualities. And it involves people, places, things, pets, everything, right? No matter what it is, I'm always being given the opportunity to embrace love, compassion, or kindness. And when I do that, guess what? I am completely rooted in my soul's calling. And it's just that easy. You see, a lot of people think, well, the soul's calling is a job. No, it's not a job. It's an essence that you carry. It's a practicality that unfolds every moment of your existence. Doesn't that free up the whole idea of having like this big soul job that you need to do? No, you just got to follow the essence, follow the gifts, follow the DNA that the divine has programmed you with, and allow that to occur every aspect, every occurrence of your life. Okay. So like I said, that's a little bit off in a sense. It does tie into the idea of love, but that's going to be a whole nother episode. But let's just go through this real quick one more time. Okay. So you start off one, place the same judgment on yourself. How does it feel? Because once you get the feeling of it, you know, okay, this is kind of yucky. I don't want to experience this, right? So you can place that same judgment. It takes it off the person, puts it on you, right? And then you also ask yourself, you dive a bit deeper. Number two, what inside me do I see in this other person that's making me judge them, right? And it's always a lot of times a lack of self-love, a lack of self-awareness. We just have to go in and see it. Sometimes journaling is a really good thing to do to be able to figure it out and understand and see how it's working, right? And then lastly, number three, make the immediate shift from judgment to acceptance. Acceptance is rooted in love, right? Judgment to acceptance, right? Basically just shift in love, accept what's in front of you as opposed to reject it. Accept it, accept it, accept it, accept it, right? That's all you got to do. And with that being said, we're going to wrap it up here in just a bit. So what I want you to do, if you have any prayer requests, any questions whatsoever, feel free to write to us, SeanG04@gmail.com. And then if you enjoyed this message and continue to enjoy the messages we have, donate. Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com. When you donate, you will get the Endless Prosperity Pack, a series of videos to develop a strong, prosperous money consciousness. And with that being said, I'm out of breath. That wraps up our message for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure. As always, we'll talk soon. Take care.
Every dream begins with a vision that sees everything before anyone else ever can. A vision that ignites the